What's up, guys? My name is KhaoticK, back at you guys with another one today. We're coming at you with a lit-ass one as well. Let's get right into it here. Hope you guys will stay high, stay lifted. And this will be another substance review on 4-ACO EPT. So this is 4-ACO ethyl propyltryptamine. And so this is pretty interesting where, it feels a lot similar to obviously, like 4-HODET, 4-HOMET, and 4-ACO DMT even. But this one is a lot less punchy, like meaning it's a lot more of a gentle tryptamine high. And, really, from my memory, it's about 4 years ago now that I did this. So it has been a while since I've done it. But I do remember it being a lot more kind of like a calming tryptamine psychedelic. And we're going to get into exactly how. And leave it down in the comments if you guys have ever tried this. So let's get into it. So yeah, 4-ACO EPT, I had sourced this from a, local, nationwide RC vendor. So I found this source through the States. And yeah, the United States, man. Don't get it wrong. There are some research chemicals here, and they get it sourced obviously from, the other countries, mainly Europe. So yeah, I don't know. But anyways, let's get into it. Let's see how it compares to the other psychedelics I've done. But yeah, so this was a pretty fond memory. I had ordered it, obviously, and, it had arrived. I was like, what is this shit? Because, I've never actually found it again. But this time, I obviously I did. But it's interesting because I've never found a source for this specific tryptamine ever again. So I would say it's a lot more rare. Like, you're more likely to find 4-ACO DMT compared to 4-ACO EPT. And it just sounds weird. It's like one of those research chemicals you've never heard of, type shit. But hey, it's a really good tryptamine, and it's very worth it, I'll be honest. So yeah, the dosage is roughly the same as the other tryptamines. About 10 milligrams is a gram equivalent of like shrooms. And, 20 and 30 milligrams is 2 grams, 3 grams equivalent. So it's around that ballpark. And I would say this one was a lot more colorful than dimethyltryptamine, 4-ACO dimethyltryptamine. And yeah, I don't know if it converts into anything related to psilocin, but, it probably converts into its own chemical in its body. I don't know. It's definitely its own thing. It's not going to be like other chemicals. It's going to be pretty fucking different. So, and with that being said, it's going to be subjective and different for everyone as well. The experience is a trip. So it's not going to be the same for everyone. It's going to vary quite a lot. So again, yeah, trial and error, right? But so this one didn't really have as much nausea as well. Again, it's a lot less strong, I would say. Possibly. I don't know. I didn't really push him much with this chemical. But again, it was just like any other tryptamine, like shroom-like tryptamine, psilocybin-like tryptamine, where, again, the experience is only like 4 to 6 hours long. It's a little longer than 4-ACO DMT. It's about as long as shrooms. It lasts up to like 6 hours. That's usually when you see the peak die off and you are now almost back to baseline. But for, like the next 2 hours, usually, you're in after effect mode. But yeah, it was a really interesting chemical. And I would say, yeah, it definitely has the insightfulness as any other tryptamine. It's got that, psychedelic glow, afterglow. It has a reset of some sort in your brain. You feel a lot happier, you feel a lot better, you feel good, you feel nice. And those are the effects that you're more than likely gonna go for, because if you're going for bad effects, you could just do any other fucking bad drug on the planet and then you're gonna get really bad side effects. But if you're doing psychedelics, I hope you're going for the right side effects. Right. So anyways, this stuff is actually not addicting as well. So you'll take it, but you're not gonna want to take it every day. And in that regard, it can definitely induce a more therapeutic experience as well, because you're not doing it all of the time. So like when you look forward to doing it again, it's more of an experience. And because your body has to commit to it, it's very, very, psychedelic, obviously, in the way where you're going to be mind altered, right? And I would say this one doesn't have such a like stuck in your head kind of body high and mind high. Like you're not going to be so trapped in your feelings on this one as well. So it's a little more recreational in a way, kind of like 4-HOMET, where it's a little more recreational. And yeah, really, I don't know if it differs much other than really just being a different chemical name. Again, you'd probably have to have them all together at once and then do them every other day, like do a new tryptamine type every other day just to see the difference in effects, because it's not going to add up how you would expect it to. A lot of them are going to synergize. They're not really going to look different, but they'll feel different. Like the onset does feel a little different when you take these different tryptamines. So a slight variation in effects. It all boils down to the same thing, though. You know, it's going to give you that psychedelic trip. The visuals are very similar to shrooms. The visuals are very similar to any tryptamine, really, even dimethyltryptamine. And then DMT, even 5-MeO-MIPT, I'm telling you, like, the visuals are sort of similar with all of these tryptamines. However, obviously, some do produce more of a colorful visual pattern and, you know, a visual acuity that is unmatched by other psychedelics as well. And again, all of these drugs can change a lot, you know, depending on dosage, the highest dosage being, you know, the one that changes the most, obviously. And also music appreciation. So music appreciation was really, really nice on this chemical. It was very interesting. And yeah, really, you know, it kind of like made you feel like you were in just a sort of like a trance. Like you were seeing like music play out in your head and you could just imagine just any feeling in the world. And then you feel like you're kind of like at a concert, like the reverb is just way the hell up on the songs and you feel like you're immersed into the song and it could trigger some insightful experiences, good or bad. You know, it's not always going to be the good, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, for ACO EPT, really all I can really say about this one, it's very similar to all the other tryptamines. Very fun. And would I actually try it again? I would, because I want to collect these experiences again. Meaning that, you know, if I could find a source for it, I'm not going to really do it. I'm just going to hold on to it because I just want to collect RCs. And it's hard. You know, it's really hard to collect RCs unless you order a lot of that RC because I always end up going through my RCs. So yeah. And it's really interesting. Really interesting. Research chemicals, but you have to be very careful with that shit, man. That shit, I mean, you're pretty much fine with the research chemicals of psychedelics, but say if you go to the dissociatives, bro, that shit can change a lot. Some of those research chemical dissociatives will really fuck you up. And obviously, research chemical benzos will really fuck you up. Research chemicals opiates will really fuck you up. And even the MDMA ones, I'm telling you, the only one you could really get away with that won't really do that much harm to you is pretty much research chemical psychedelics, bro. And that being said, not 5-MeO-DMT though. Yeah, that shit's way too strong. All right, you're gonna have way more of a bad experience with that just because of how strong it is. You're not gonna expect how strong it is. But yeah, so you know, again, if you're gonna fuck with research chemicals, I would say start off with the psychedelic ones, but don't even go to any other ones. I can't really say that that's safe at all. But what I'm saying is like basically they have the same safety profile as any other psychedelic. They basically have the same safety profile as the drug they're synthesized from, the drug that was created, like the parent chemical. The parent chemical is almost as strong as the research chemical that they, you know, found a new research chemical out. You know what I mean? So it's very interesting. The analogs. So, you know, like say like DMT analogs. That's, you know, all the ones I briefly mentioned, like 4-ACO, DMT, 4-HO-MIPT, all of those, they all have a similar safety profile. So again, if you're fucking with those, you're in the right ballpark, but please don't even go to the other ones. I'm telling you, it's just not going to be a fine slope. It's going to be a steep drop. And that's coming from personal experience. And you know what I've seen on the internet about these chemicals as well. So again, there's plenty of anecdotal evidence and actual experiences too. Because again, these chemicals, you know, for the majority of the times I picked them up, they were what they were. And again, you got to test and you got to make sure that you got what you got, because if it's the wrong chemical, it could really fuck you up. But anyways, done with that little rant and ramble. For ACO EPT, you know, I would give it a 9 out of 10. You know, it was a good experience. It was a good experience. I would say it's not very memorable though, because again, it's very similar to all the other tryptamines. You'd really have to test the waters with this one a lot to have it memorable. Like 4-ACO, DMT, and shrooms are very memorable to me. Even 4-HO-MIPT was a little more memorable. Although that shit just made me really tired and was really, really sedating. And yeah, I would say this one, you know, not to really, you know, hurt the substance at all, not to hurt the feelings of the substance, but I wasn't really, like, it wasn't memorable at all. And I think that was because I was doing benzos around the time, bro. I mean, again, this was 4 years ago when I was still doing benzos. Yeah, that's probably why. Because let's be honest, that shit wasn't very memorable. If you're doing benzos and psychedelics around each other, you're really not going to remember that shit. And it's kind of scary, all right? There's brief moments in time where I don't remember as much as I could have before. But, you know, it doesn't matter because that shit sucked. I was in Louisiana, bro. I did not like that place. So I was doing benzos, all right? I was stressed the fuck out, okay? That's also why I did benzos. And, you know, it kind of helped me start the channel. It helped me get some videos out there. But, again, I wasn't really doing benzos for the long term, bro. I wasn't going to keep doing that. That's fucking for sure. So you never catch me beyond that shit forever. Or opiates, and I love opiates. But anyways, yeah, the really addicting drugs, you really have to cap it with that shit fast, bro. And you have to have a fucking iron mind. Honestly, like, it's surprising that I even stopped, okay? Because, again, that shit is that addicting. It is, bro. And the withdrawal fucking sucks, all right? And, again, this is not a video talking about the withdrawal, but, yeah, just briefly, that shit sucks. So, yeah. Anyways, don't fuck with that shit is what I'm saying. But that's the reason why I don't really remember 4-ACO EPT that much. I was doing benzos, and I was doing high doses of Vitizolam, and oh man, those were the days, but they had an end, bro. You know, all good things come to an end, and that was a good thing to come to an end, bro, because, man, I was looking bad, bro. I look back at my old videos and I was on one. But anyways, yeah, 4-ACO EPT, the dosage, always going to be the same as roughly as the other tryptamines I just mentioned, like 4-ACO DMT, all that shit. So, you know, look online and you'll find the proper dosage on Psychonaut Wiki. But yeah, leave it down in the comments if you guys have ever had a similar experience to 4-ACO EPT and, you know, really any other chemical similar to that. And there's plenty of more tryptamines that have weird, you know, ACO, HO and shit, bro. You know, I never know, but I may get some hand on that shit. So, you know, there might be new videos coming out in the future about that. But currently, yeah, the only one I found recently was 4-ACO DMT. That was the last 4 substituted tryptamine I've ever found. Oh no, 4-HO MIPT. Totally forgot. That was the other one too. That was the last one actually. But anyways, again, we'll see what happens in the future with these research chemicals. I'm not really fucking with them anymore, honestly. I only get this and that sometimes. And yeah, you know, that shit has kind of set sail. That ship has set sailed. Obviously, there's a lot more, so who knows? At this point, if I don't get, you know, and connect with a real chemist that can synthesize this shit, I'm never really going to have access to it. So let's hope and pray. Oh, yeah. Hit my DMs if you guys have anything about that. Anyways, yeah. In my harm reduction Discord, of course, and I hope you guys stay high, stay lifted. Yeah, have a great weekend, guys. It's almost the weekend, and again, have a good one. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.